All right, guys, I'm not really chuckling about myself. This was bad. All right. So I'm just going to wait if Malcolm comes back because he's like, my knight in shining armor told me that I had muted myself. There's always new ways to fuck up. So here I go. Yes, human. All right. So today, I think Malcolm is back. Let's see. Malcolm, is that you? Tell me you're here. All right. So today, yes, you can hear me. Yes. All right. So today, I wanted to talk about me screwing up yet again. So this becomes a bit, maybe I should stop talking about it so much because it seems to be fueling the whole thing. So I fell into such an easily avoidable trap for a coach. And I feel a bit ashamed that it happened to me, actually, because I just assumed too much. I assumed that, everybody knows about the topic of boundary setting and people are aware that they don't have any, or they are aware that they should work on their boundaries, when in fact, most people were just scratching their heads going, what's a boundary, right? So today I wanted to fix this. I still want to fix this. So stay tuned. I'm going to go and look for my intro video now. All right, coming up now. Okay, welcome back. So I hope I still can, I thought the video I was doing really well, the first one. So I hope I can pull it off again. Okay, so boundary setting. Why is it important? Or why did I start talking about it so much? Because I noticed a trend where people were, hold on. Let me start over again. Okay, so no. I did notice a trend, but I'll tell you about this in a second. So what is a boundary? Let me start there, yeah? Because again, I'm jumping ahead. So boundaries, when people hear boundaries, they most often, or interpersonal boundaries, setting healthy boundaries, they think about relationships, yes? Two people and, saying this is okay and this isn't okay. So a lot of the time you can just say the rules of engagement of a specific relationship. So for example, you may have a boundary with your children that if your child screams from the other end of the house, "Mom," you don't drop everything right away and run to him or her, but you had told them before that if they want something, they have to come and get you. Yeah. So that would be a boundary. That would be a rule that you've clearly laid out for everybody involved and you're sticking to it. So that's a healthy boundary, a rule, a communicated rule, and a consistently insisted upon or enforced rule. Okay. But and here's what I've noticed, and the reason why I'm doing all this content on boundary setting is because there's another area of boundaries which is much more subtle, and that is the boundaries you're setting with yourself. Okay? So now in the pandemic, so I forgot to introduce myself again, so I'm sorry, I'm a bit all over the place right now. So you know my name. My name is Henrike Schmidt. I'm the whole brain coach, and I usually work with serial high achievers who feel like life is a constant uphill battle. And, and they come to me so I can help them understand their brains better and how to use their brains better so they can reintroduce some ease and flow into their lives, basically. And in those conversations, a lot of the time I go, that's a boundary issue. And they go, what? That has nothing to do with boundaries. There's nobody else involved here. It's just me. But this is it. So all too often, it's just us. It's just ourselves. who are pushing us too far. And especially those serial high achievers are really guilty of that, because we just have this image of ourselves that we want to live up to, and we just keep pushing ourselves to fulfill this image, even though the circumstances have changed dramatically. Yeah. So let me give you another example of a boundary issue that does involve other people, which was, an example that was, that I recently had to deal with a client. So she came to me and she said, well, she is such a hard worker. She is a, time management maven. She is very goal orientated and focused. And that led to her at work always finishing her projects before her other colleagues. And what did that lead to? That led to her boss always giving her extra work. And it was simmering in her, like, the violated boundary that she had didn't show up in, in big outbursts of anger and frustration, but it was just it was simmering in her, this resentment, this, low-level frustration, this feeling of being taken for granted. So I said, you need to set boundaries. And she said, I can't tell my boss I won't do the work. And I said, you don't have to tell your boss you won't do the work. You just have to tell your boss how you're feeling, because he's crossing a boundary with you and you're feeling bad. So she did go in and she asked him, she didn't tell him, she asked him if he had noticed that he tended to always give her extra work and never ask anybody else. And guess what? He hadn't. Yes. So he was just totally oblivious to his own behavior. So he immediately said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't even notice. So he immediately agreed to pay more attention to distributing extra work more fairly. Bob's your uncle, right? So it's sometimes boundary setting is as easy as that. So one of the big fears that, oh my God, if I start setting boundaries with people, nobody's going to like me anymore, is usually so wrong. It's almost comically funny. Yeah, because what setting boundaries is actually going to do is improve your relationships. So maybe it's not going to be as easy breezy as that one was. Maybe there is going to be some pushback. Maybe it is going to feel uncomfortable for you as well, because you have to change your behavior around a specific person or a specific subject or in an environment. But once you're through that, it's all plain sailing. So the way I signed off one of my recent posts was, those people who cannot handle you saying no never deserved you saying yes in the first place. So if you want to turn your relationships from energy drains into energy fountains, that's when you look up, and this is where my banner comes back in. This is when you go to my website, to thewholebraincoach.com/BBB, has to be uppercase, otherwise it won't work, to check out my badass boundary bundle. So because I realized that everybody is zoomed out and fed up with staring at a screen all day, I intentionally kept it really compact, really short. Nobody has time for a 3-week course on setting boundaries. It's 3 days, 3 steps, and boundary badassery forever. Yeah. So the course is super affordable. It's short It's compact. It's a couple of videos that you can watch with a workbook that takes you through the process step by step. It includes an ebook where I dive a bit deeper into the neuroscience of boundary setting. I give more examples of the different areas that, like things that are boundaries that you didn't even know were boundaries. And I give more examples. So maybe you're struggling to figure out your specific situation. There are more examples in the ebook. And then I also have something to soothe your heart, and that is a guided trance-inducing meditation that will give you more confidence and the courage to set boundaries with others, because I do realize that this is a big issue, that there's a lot of fear involved around setting boundaries. There's also an option to upgrade to a VIP, which would give you a one-on-one session with me. So if you think that this is all fair and good, 3 days sounds wonderful, but you're worried that you might not actually be able to do it, you want some extra accountability, you want another brain to pick about your specific situation, you just click a little tick box and you get an extra one-on-one session with yours truly. So head on over there. I'm absolutely in love with the program. I had it beta tested by some really wonderful people. Thank you, who gave me very, very valuable feedback. So I fine-tuned it even more. And they loved it. I love it. I hope you will too. So head on over there. And that's really it for me for today. I will be back here next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central European Time, with another installment of Be, Think, Transform. Until then, I hope I will not forget to unmute myself ever again. All right, my lovelies, be good, stay healthy, and check out the Boundary Bundle. I'll see you next week. Bye.